Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I am in my daughter's room because I thought it would be the perfect place to talk about my birth story that is very personal, very intimate, but when I was pregnant, I definitely found peace and joy and entertainment in watching pregnancy related videos, birth stories, tips about pregnancy, tips about giving birth. I just love to watch all of that. And I worked downtown Atlanta when I was pregnant, and coming from, because I live in Duluth now, so coming from Duluth all the way down to Atlanta, the drive is pretty long, especially during the traffic hours, and I would just listen to YouTube videos the whole ride there as if I was listening to a podcast. I just love them so much. So I always told myself, when I give birth, I'm gonna make a video about my birth story. So let's jump right on in. So I gave birth, or I went into labor September 15th, which was my due date. However, I can't even say if I went into labor because that was my predicted due date, or if it was from the midwives brew, because my godmom came out to be with me while I gave birth, and I wanted to make sure that I gave birth while she was out here, and I knew that she was only going to be out here for a short amount of time. So I took this midwives brew. It's a concoction of apricot juice, lemon verbena tea, sorry if I'm messing that name up, castor oil. It's some other stuff. I did take footage of that.
This morning, Kayla has decided to drink the wife's mid tea.
Midwives brew.
Oh, midwife's brew.
Do you want to tell the people what's in it?
Yeah, you can tell them what's in it.
So it's apricot juice, lemon verbena tea, but we had to substitute and get another tea that had lemon verbena in it because we couldn't find the tea, castor oil, almond butter, and that's it. And you're supposed to drink this within 30 minutes.
No apricot tea?
No, apricot juice. So.
Oh, it shouldn't taste bad then.
If it doesn't happen, then that means Kyla wasn't ready.
No, it's all at God's will anyway, so.
Well, these are God's natural ingredients that we're using.
We know she's gonna poop with the castor oil.
Well, you might, but the almond butter.
Apricots always make you shit.
Apricots do?
Yes.
If all goes well, we may be having a baby or going into labor within 24 hours, so, in which her due date is tomorrow anyway, so.
Here we go. You gonna pour some out for the dead homies?
No.
Oh.
This is horrible. It's nasty. It's horrible. But I took that drink in hopes of going into labor, and I thought it was okay because it was my due date anyway. And I did ask my doctor about it. The doctor's appointment prior, like whatever doctor's appointment I had before I gave birth, I asked her about it, and she wasn't really like, oh my God, don't do it. But she was just kind of like, I would stay away from that. How about you just wait till you give birth? But I'm a daredevil, and I'm like, listen, I'm gonna just do it. Like none of the ingredients are, like horribly bad to your pregnancy. So I did it, and it's supposed to like, I guess, make you use the bathroom. And I guess it's supposed to induce labor somehow. So I just remember doing that, and then I went to take a nap. Nothing happened with that though. So I don't know what was what, because I didn't have any abdominal pain. I didn't have any upset stomach, none of that. So I mean, we can say that didn't have an effect on it, but I really don't know. But anyway, so my cousin Candace was down here and her friend, and so we started just walking around laps around my apartment complex, And then, girl, we started twerking, having a little twerk party, little twerk session to see if that did something. That did something. And then after that, it started raining, so we just came back upstairs and just relaxed. And then, yeah, nothing happened. Nothing. And then I went to the bathroom just to use the bathroom. And then I noticed once I was done using the bathroom, and sorry to get graphic, but this is a birth story, so everything is going to be graphic. When I was wiping myself, I noticed that the pee was still coming. But it wasn't a gush. It wasn't like, oh my God. I mean, obviously, what I'm describing was my water breaking, but it wasn't what I thought it would be. It wasn't a huge deal, or the things that you see in the movie. It wasn't like that at all. But yeah, water still kept coming after what I thought was urine. It was actually my water breaking. I don't know why I just stuttered, but it was my water breaking, and it just kept coming down. So I called my mom. My mom was there too, and I was like, Mom, come see something. And she came or whatever, and I was like, can you put your hand, girl, listen, I am very open with my mom, but I was like, Mom, can you feel down there and tell me if that is like amniotic fluid, is my water breaking? She's like, I'm not feeling down there. I'm like, Mom, come on, please. And so she felt it, and she's like, yep, it's your water breaking. And like, soon as she said that, that was just confirmation for me to just freak out. I was getting nervous. I was just like, oh my God, like my life is about to change. I'm about to give birth in the next 5 minutes. Like, first of all, girl, relax. When you go into labor, you could have a rare experience where you just give birth like that, but 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be hours before you actually give birth, so relax. But I was like, oh my God, somebody call my boyfriend. He was my boyfriend at that time. Somebody call my boyfriend, like, oh my God. And so my mom was like, relax, even though she was nervous herself, but she was like, relax. My godmom was like, relax, call your doctor, blah blah blah. My godmom ended up calling my doctor for me to tell it wasn't even my doctor. It was just like the number that they give us to call when you're going into labor. And then they ended up talking to me, asking me a few questions, and then they're like, okay, come on down to the hospital. So I took a shower before I went. I didn't want to lollygag too much, because if your water breaks, you're open. So you don't want to just be lollygagging, because you don't want you to be open to infection or anything. Like, you're open, nothing is, your water broke. So, but I did take my time. I took a shower. My hospital bag was already packed. I had packed Tyler something up real quick, because I don't remember ever packing his bag, and I just left. That way he wouldn't have to stop by the house. He could just go straight to the hospital. Later I found out that he was freaking out too, because I called him, and I was like, hey babe, well, I didn't say hey babe, but I was like, babe, my water broke, oh my God. And he's like, when he is nervous, he gets like kind of rude. So he was like, you need to calm down. It's fine. Like, it's okay. You need to calm down. Like, and I'm like, what you mean calm down? Like, I'm about to have a baby. What? But anyways, so he ended up meeting us at the hospital. He met my godmom and my mom and my cousin at the hospital. And so, and by the way, I'm originally from Los Angeles, so my family is still in LA, but my cousin and my godmom are from LA, obviously, and they came down. So it was nice to have a little piece of home while I was, during that time. My mom, of course, is my big piece of home, but you know what I mean. So anyways, and so on the way to the hospital, though, we had to stop and get some gas. And so my mom was saying the whole time she wasn't nervous, even though we all knew that she was.
You see the nervous grandma?
I'm not.
She don't know what to do.
How do you feel, Grammy?
I feel good. I'm not nervous. I'm being who I am.
How you feel, Michelle?
Great. Just fine.
How you feel, Brittany?
I'm truly excited.
You
Really
excited?
Yes.
We're having a baby.
That she was. So she runs in to pay for the gas, comes back out. I'm just drinking my water, just trying to relax, but I'm starting to feel a little bit of the contraction at this point. They're not horrible, but they're definitely evident. So I'm not really paying attention to my mom. I'm just paying attention on breathing, because when it's your first time having a baby, you only can imagine what a contraction will feel like, but you don't actually know. So it was a mixture of, I'm feeling this pain, but I'm nervous because it's not that bad, but oh my God, what if it gets bad? What if I can't handle it? So your mind is just kind of on a bunch of other things. So you're not really paying attention to what's going on around you. So I didn't really pay attention to her. So she gets in the car and drives off. And then once we get like right before we enter the freeway, she's like, oh my God, y'all, I didn't even pump the gas. And then we like, so we about to just not even make it to the hospital, because my hospital, I gave birth at North Side, which I love. I had a beautiful birth experience there, but they're not close to Duluth. They're in Atlanta, deep in Atlanta. So when we left my house, it was about like 5-6 o'clock, so traffic was full blown. So it was gonna take us maybe probably an hour to get there. An hour may be an exaggeration, but maybe 45 minutes to an hour. So 45 minutes, same thing. So she forgets to pump the gas, so she has to go back because she'd already paid for it. So she has to go all the way back to the gas station that she went to pump the gas. And luckily nobody had used it, so she just pumped it. And then we left. So then we make it to the hospital. This part is kind of a blur to me, but I just remember we make it in. My mom goes to park. I have my bags with me. I check in with the triage nurse. I had already had my information there already because I did a hospital tour, and at the hospital tour I gave them all my information, so it wasn't really much that I had to do. So after that, they put me in a room, and the room was really beautiful, really nice. And this wasn't a waiting room or anything. This was the actual room where the action was gonna happen. So I didn't have to move to another room. This was the room for me, and then the next room was the recovery room. So after that, once I get to the room, I'm relaxed, and they put me in the hospital gown, all of that. I have my little, it's like this little thing I got from TJ Maxx, and it's a small like mist burner or whatever. I mean, you put essential oils in it, and it just comes out, and it has LED lights too, so it's really nice. It's really cute. And I put that on. I think I had eucalyptus drops in there, and it was just really smelling nice. I just really wanted a zen birth. My birth my birth intention, whatever, was to have really peaceful, like, I took some hypno birthing classes. I didn't really take them, but I went online and I read a little bit about it. So I kind of had the breathing techniques self-taught down. I took prenatal yoga classes during my pregnancy. So I just wanted that zen feeling. You know, I knew from what I had been told that it could be painful, but I knew that pain is relative, because I like to believe that I have a high tolerance for pain.
But they said they're gonna give her some morphine to induce the labor. Yes. That's her.
Take deep breaths.
At 1.5. Yes.
I just felt like if I can just breathe and relax, I'll be okay. But anyways, so after I had my little essential oils, Tyler, my boyfriend, well, my fiance now, walked in, and he has his uniform on, and he seems fine. I mean, I know him very well, so it's probably a little anxiety, but he's not like freaking out or anything. He's a jokester, so when he came in, he just, you know, made everybody laugh like he always does.
How do you feel, Tyler? How do you feel?
Same. And then change.
He does, and then he goes and takes him a shower, and you know, just gets comfortable. So after that, this part I really hated. The doctor came in, or the nurse, whatever, and she's like, so we have to make sure that it's actually amniotic fluid that broke, and it's not something else. So basically, they have to have proof that my water broke. So they stuck a long Q-tip, dry as hell, long and dry. They had to stick it inside of me to get a swab. And mind you, I had my bloody show, by the way. Like I said, this is gonna be graphic. Listen, if you're pregnant, grow up. It is what it is. If you're not pregnant, grow up. But anyways, so yeah, they had to stick a long Q-tip inside of me. No fluid, no lube, no nothing, because they had to get, you know, their sample. And I had my bloody show, so the Q-tip came out bloody, and it was very, okay, you know how sometimes doctors be like, oh, it's gonna be a little bit of discomfort, you know, it shouldn't be any pain. No, that hurt. It is what it is. It hurt. So they put it in, took it out, whatever, and then they went to go ensure that it was what it was, which it was. So that was a waste of time to me, but to them, it needed to be done. So boom, okay. And then after that, then it was showtime. So they checked to see how dilated I was. I was only like 1 centimeter. And then we all just, began to wait. I didn't really want an epidural other than for if I was to tear. Because the thought of me tearing down there, it just, even though my mom and everyone else that I know that have had babies were like, oh, it's going to be so much pain, you're not even going to feel that part, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, it just doesn't make sense in my mind that you cannot feel your vagina tearing. Like, how do you not feel that? So for me, I was like, no, I want an epidural just for that reason. But, we can wait a little bit later because I'm fine now. Now, the contractions, I'm not going to lie, they were painful, but to me, they were not unbearable. I definitely was able to bear them. I mean, the only time that it got to be a bit much was that the way the contractions work is that it's not just a pain, it's a gradual thing. So it just over time starts to get more painful. So it's like your body gets you ready for it. It doesn't just hit you all at once, it's gradual. But the only issue in my experience was I was having double contractions. So, but to me in my body, it felt like just one big contraction when in actuality it was double. So, and sometimes triple. So to me, the way contractions felt, it was like, oh, it would hurt, and then it would stop before it became to be too much. But when I would have a double one or a triple one, which felt like one big one to me, it would be like, oh my God, like, is this ever gonna stop? And then it would stop. So your body gives you breaks in between, thank God. But, the triple ones and the double ones feel like it's never gonna end. But so what I would do was I would hold on to my fiance's hand or my godmom's hand or my mom's hand really, really tight. And then I would release. They did give me morphine, which actually made me sick. So I do remember they gave me like a puking bag.
Gavin, do you have like a bucket?
You feel like you're gonna throw up?
Yeah.
There you go. Get your washcloth too. Sorry, maybe we just do that.
I don't even think I actually puked. I think I just felt the sensation like I was gonna puke. And then it also made me just really tired. Morphine just really made me feel like I had a hangover. I could have done without because I don't remember it taking away any pain. It just made me feel sick. And then it put me to sleep, so I guess it kind of made everything go kind of fast because of that. But anyway, so I remember my mom called the Chinese food place because they gave us like menus of food and we ordered Chinese food. So me and Tyler and everyone in there, we ate Chinese food. And I think I kind of spoke too soon. Before I even got the morphine shot, we were walking around the hospital together, just trying to move the process along, move the baby lower and lower. Then I bounced on the ball. He kind of stayed behind me, rubbing my back. My man was definitely he was my encourager that day. He was definitely, everyone in the hospital room was, but he was that one that was just, do this, stay in there, and then, giving me a joke here and there, you definitely need that support. And I'm glad that I had that. Moving along, we had Chinese food, and then I was sleeping every so often, joking here and there, but definitely, even though like I said, the pain was bearable, I just had an attitude. I don't know why, but I think when you're giving birth, you're just in your own mood. You don't want things too loud. It's just one of those days where people just have to understand. Because I don't think I was the nicest. I wasn't rude, but I was just in my own little just funk. Because it's just, your body's just doing so much. It's just like, oh, come hug me, don't hug me, talk to me, don't talk to me. Just talk amongst yourselves is cool. Now you're too loud. It was just, it was all of that. So whole lot. But anyways, so after that, then, the doctor would come in and check me so often. Now at this point, at least 7 or 8 hours has passed. And so in my head, I'm thinking, oh, I'm 7 centimeters, dilated. I've been here 7 hours. Like, I know. I just know. They came back and checked me after between 7 and 8 hours. I was still at 1 centimeter. Yeah, still there. So I'm like, you have got to be joking me. I mean, joking. Like, how has nothing has happened? Like, I've been in pain. Like, what are we doing? Like, why? I just did not understand it. So fast forward, I think another 8 hours had passed. They checked me again. I was still at 1 centimeter. Can you believe that? I'm like, and it's so discouraging too, because you know that you have been there for so long, and you're in pain, and it's just like, why is nothing progressing? So after that, another 8 hours had passed by, and then at this point, they told me that I was at, like, at that point, I think I had made it to like 5 or 6 centimeters. So I mean, you can do the math. We've been here a minute. 6 centimeters, stuff started to happen a little bit more. I do remember at one point they had told me not to eat. I couldn't eat or drink. I could only, and they gave me like a fluid or a tube, I guess, that feeds me. I don't remember what it's called, an IV. But I, you know, it even though your body is being nourished through the IV, your mouth is still dry and you still feel hungry. So you feel like you're starving and you're about to die and, you know, never be seen again. But in actuality, I was being nourished, but it just didn't feel like that. So I was so hungry and I was so thirsty, and all I could do was eat ice. And I was just not even doing a thing. Like, it was no help at all. So I remember Tyler, he like snuck me a cracker, and he just stuck me like food here and there, because he's like, you know, my baby hungry. So he snuck me food here and there. And now I realize why they told me not to eat, but we'll get to that at the end. But anyways, so after that, after I was 6 centimeters, things started to progress, and they didn't want to really check me anymore, because they didn't want to continue to check me. They just wanted to, like, you know, let my body do its thing and then check me like just ever so often, because they didn't want to just continue to open me up or expose me to any bacteria or anything like that. So the next time, they didn't check me after that again. What happened was, the doctor had come in and she's like, hey, I just wanted to go over some things with you, some pushing techniques, because sometimes women don't really know how to push. So they end up pushing too hard and ripping and tearing, or they don't push at all, and then we're just here for hours trying to push. So I just want to go over some pushing techniques with you so that you can just be ready. Sorry, y'all, the sun is coming in here. So that you can be aware of how to push. So after that, my mom had went down to, you know, get some air, fresh air, whatever, and then we're just going over the pushing techniques. So she's like, okay, so we're just gonna do a quick warm up and just, you know, let you know how things are supposed to go. So she showed me how to push. I don't remember what I was holding, but anyway, she put these little things up where my thighs went over, and so like that's exactly how it was. And I was holding on to something, and Tyler was behind me, and my godmom was sleeping on the little couch that we had, and my mom was outside. So she's like, okay, so on 3, and then she taught me how to push, did the whole shebang. I think she told me, like, basically, I really don't remember. This part is a blur, but I just remember just push and then stop. But I don't remember how she described it, so I'm sorry about that, you guys. But yeah, so she's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, push, and then I pushed, and I just was like pushing really hard, and she's like, oh, wait a minute, the baby's coming out. Okay, hold on. Stop pushing. Don't do anything like else. Get this lady up right here. Talking about my godmom. Get her up right now. Go get your mom. So Tyler, he didn't want to leave for a second, so he just called her. He's like, Kayla's about to give birth. You need to come up here right now. And she's like, what? So she comes up and she's like, oh my god. So she's rushing. They call everyone in that's supposed to be there, and they're like, okay, so this baby's coming, so we gotta go. So and this was like, mind you, this was supposed to be a warm up, and it ended up me giving birth. So I literally pushed Kylan out in 3 pushes, but she was like, she would stop me ever so often so I wouldn't tear. So she would tell me to push, and then like kind of massage my, is it called the perineal area? Whatever. She would massage it or whatever, and then she would tell me to push again. So I pushed. Okay, stop. Rub it a little bit. Push again. Actually, I think I pushed 4 times. Stop. Massage, and then push one more big time. And then my baby was out.
Okay, big breath in again. And push.
There you go. Good job.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Oh my gosh.
7, 8, 9, and 10. And again, quick breath in again.
She's
And
coming.
push.
Is that a
2,
baby?
Yes.
Yeah, girl. 3, 4, 5. Sweetie, you are
Right
doing
there.
so
Baby
good.
Kylan's
Good
coming.
job.
You're feeling lots of pressure. She's all the way crowned up. She's going to be here in this next contraction, sweetie. Y'all doing okay?
Yes.
You all right?
Yeah,
We got
here
a
she
shoulder. Baby really likes her. Ashley, because she's looking toward Ashley.
Oh
Get
my
here, Kayla.
gosh, she's so beautiful. Oh my God, look at that.
Good job.
Hey, my sweetie.
She's so cute. Oh my God, look at her. Oh my God. She's okay. Here she comes.
There you go.
When I saw her, I was just so, it was so many emotions. But I will say, when I first saw her, I was just like, oh my God, like, I'm just gonna make sure that I give her all the confidence in the world because she is not cute. But I'm just gonna make sure that she is confident.
She's there.
Perfect.
I was not thinking that when a baby is first born, I mean, if you have a rare case where your baby just is the mom, then okay. But normally, you know, they're new to the earth, so the outside world, so they are kind of funny looking, and peculiar. And so Kylan was, and but nonetheless, I was definitely in love. Don't get me wrong, but I was kind of like, oh, she kind of, but you know, I was in love with my child. And I was crying. It was just so many emotions all at once. I just couldn't believe it. Tyler was in the back telling me how, you know, how proud he is of me, how, you know, I did a good job, all of that. And like I said, I will post clips so you guys can see that moment. And then that night, I let them take Kylan to the nursery and do what they need to do for the night because, you know, I was exhausted. I was tired. So she didn't really sleep with me that first night. But the second, or they brought her back in at like 6 in the morning, which I kind of was like, okay, like, dang, I'm still asleep, like, what? But they was like, oh, the nursery closed at a certain time and then it opens back up. But when they brought her in, oh, she was so cute. She was so beautiful. They had her wrapped up in the little blanket that had her, like, her hat on. Oh my God, she was so cute. That second night, y'all, girl, she was crying like every 15 minutes. I was trying to get the breastfeeding thing together. Thankfully, I had a very great breastfeeding experience. If you guys want me to go into breastfeeding and my experience with breastfeeding, I will make a separate video about that. Just let me know in the comments below and I will do that. Because I don't want to give you guys videos that you don't even want. But if you want that, let me know and I would definitely post a video about my breastfeeding experience, which was a great one. But I do have to thank Northside and Kaiser, who was my insurance at the time, for just everything that they provided for me. I had a lactation consultant that came in the whole time I was in the hospital, and they provided services to come to your house once you leave, which I ended up not needing because they just got me so equipped to breastfeed before then. But yeah, my baby was so beautiful. I was so excited. I was so happy. I was so nervous because I was embarking on this new journey of motherhood and I didn't know what to expect. You know, but she was beautiful. Now, during the hospital period time, it is a little annoying because your doctors and the people that are taking care of you have to come in like every hour to like push on your stomach so that your blood doesn't clot and whatever. So they're checking on you. So like you could be asleep and they just come on in and just start pushing you, which is not a comfortable experience. I mean, I don't remember it being that painful, but it don't feel good either. And then I remember when I had first, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to say, I did get the epidural. I got the epidural right before the whole, like when the doctor came in and did the warm up, before she had came in, I had got the epidural. So the epidural didn't really kick in until after I gave birth. So I did feel everything and I didn't tear, thank God. But I didn't, my numbness and the pain free that you're trying to achieve for the epidural didn't come to the end because I got it so late. So what ended up happening was the doctor was like, okay, we have to witness your first pee. Like, we have to make sure that you can pee. And I got up thinking, like, I could pee because I didn't want to get a catheter. And I knew that that was going to be the next step. So I was just like, oh, I can pee. Like, definitely, I can pee. Like, I'm fine. So I tried to get up out the bed. Legs noodly, girl, almost fell. Tyler had to give me, the doctors had to give me, and they're like, yeah, so you need to relax. But I was like, no, but seriously, I can pee. Like, I'm fine. I can pee. So I'll go to the bathroom, try to pee. Nothing is coming out. And nothing is coming out. I'm trying to pee and then it's not coming out. So I'm like, oh, you know what? Maybe I don't need to pee because it's not coming out. And they're like, no, you need to. Okay, I don't know what happened. My camera just died on me. Well, my phone that I used just died. Okay. Anyways, so back to the story. So I think I did get an epidural, but like I said, I was at the pee part. So I was like, I can pee. So I tried to pee and I could not pee. So I'm like, oh, you know what? Maybe I just don't have to pee. So they're like, no, you definitely should be like feeling the urge to pee. So they're like, you know what? I'm sorry, but we're just gonna have to do the catheter. And I was so scared because just the thought of a catheter is just not, comforting. But because the epidural started to kick in, I did not feel the catheter. And when they got the urine out, she showed me the bag and she's like, see, you had to be like really bad. And I'm like, dang, okay. But anyways, so fast forward to the second night, or the night that I was telling you about, they have to push you. So they're coming in ever so often, pushing your stomach, making sure you have to document you pooping and all that stuff. Also, I will make a video as well if you want me to talk about my recovery kit that I had, which was given to me by Kaiser, thankfully, but it had everything that you need. Your oversized pads, the knit type of underwear, or the sheer underwear is what I meant to say. Just like all these things, creams, everything that you need. Hemorrhoiding cream, because I had hemorrhoids, like for real, y'all. So the recovery period for me was tough. It wasn't horrible, but it was tough. I had very bad hemorrhaging, whatever. That really hurt when I, sat down. I was bleeding for a long time. And then I was breastfeeding, so you feel cramping too when you breastfeed, which is your body your stomach flattening. But yeah, it was just giving birth is no joke. It's not for the faint of heart. It's a huge traumatic experience on your body, whether you have a vaginal birth or a C-section. But that was my birth story. I had a vaginal birth. I'm also going to insert a part 2 of this birth story and give you my cousin Alexa's story, because she had a C-section. So I just want to give you guys, both stories, just because you just never know sometimes. Sometimes you may have a C-section that you didn't actually plan for, and it's good to be knowledgeable on both, just so that you can be ready for both, because the most important thing is that your child and you are healthy and you have a safe delivery, no matter what form of delivery that is. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed that birth story. I hope it was for all the women that are, well, what I should have said is, first, guys, if you are having a baby, if you are pregnant, if you are planning to get pregnant, congratulations on this beautiful journey ahead of you. And I just want to be of assistance, of help, of entertainment, of joy, to just let you know my birthing experience. But yeah, so that was my birthing experience. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, link them down below, or put them down below. And like, comment, subscribe, share this video if you care. Love you guys. Bye.